We are here with Mr. Robert Hooks, and he is going to share with us the history of the Negro Ensemble Company, because this is the 50th anniversary of its founding. And so we're spending the afternoon with Robert, and he's going to give us a little bit of history about these posters that we're looking at. Hello. Say hello first.
Well, hello there.
Okay, great.
I'm happy to be able to talk with you guys. And before we sit down and have the interview, I'll give you an idea of what these posters are.
Okay, great.
I have many, many posters. The walls are not big enough in this house. That is the very first play that I produced. It's called Happy Ending and Day of Absence. I produced this play in 1965. And that play led to the beginnings of the Negro Ensemble Company. That play in the middle, A Raisin in the Sun, that's an old poster from Boston, but I was in the original cast. I replaced Lou Gossett in A Raisin in the Sun. I met Douglas Turner Ward when he was in A Raisin in the Sun. He was Sidney Poitier's understudy in A Raisin in the Sun. And when I saw this play in Philadelphia that prompted me to move to New York to become an actor, Douglas Turner Ward was in this play. And the rest is history. This is the very first play of the Negro Ensemble Company. I have so many companies, I'm a little confused.
That's okay.
The Negro Ensemble Company's very first production was Song of the Lusitanian Bogey by Peter Weiss. A lot of people thought when we started the Negro Ensemble Company we were only going to do black plays. Well, we wanted the Negro Ensemble Company to be international. So one of the first plays of the first season, or the first play of the first season, was by a white German writer, and that's called Song of the Lusitanian Bogey by Peter Weiss. Over here, if we come over here, you will see the play that I was doing when I started the group theater workshop was Dutchman. Leroy Jones, at the time he was Leroy Jones, then he became Amiri Baraka. These two plays were done in 1964, and I did Dutchman, and that's when I started the group theater workshop. That was before the NEC.
That was in New York?
All in New York. Everything was in New York. Actually, this is a benefit that I did when the Negro Ensemble Company was kind of running out of money, and I had befriended all these people, as you see. Barbara Streisand, I got to co-host with me. Godfrey Cambridge, Shirley MacLaine were the MCs. Lena Horne, Nancy Wilson, Rosin Cash, The Magnificent Men, Melba Moore, Leon Bibb, Chico Hamilton, and Roy Ayers. This was a benefit that I did. We raised enough money doing this benefit to do the whole season of the Negro Ensemble Company that year.
Fantastic. And what year was that?
Geez, you had to ask. Well, the NEC was already established and running.
Okay, great.
1970, there's the date right there. 1970.
Very good.
But that was 5 years after we started the NEC.
Okay,
this is
great.
just a benefit, so we could do our season without going out and begging for money.
I see.
Well, it was begging for money, but I don't mind. I don't mind begging for money with people like that.
With all those folks, yeah. Right. Rosin Cash, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roy Ayers, my goodness,
Roy,
that's great.
How about Lena Horne?
Lena Horne, of course.
And Shirley MacLaine and Barbara Streisand.
Yes.
But anyway, that was a benefit. Now, this is the original poster of The Blacks, Jean Genet's The Blacks. That was the play that I joined, and along with a lot of other actors in New York. It ran for almost 4 years, so all the big actors came in and out of this play. And so this is the original Blacks poster. Over here, when I went to Washington, D.C. to start the D.C. Black Repertory Company, I wanted to do, this is a benefit as well, for the D.C. Black Repertory Company. And this was done at the John F. Kennedy Center of Performing Arts.
Very good.
With my company, my new company, the D.C. Black. We'll get into talking about these companies. But this is, so I wanted to do The Blacks because it's such a great theater piece. Of course, these are the two of the Negro Ensemble Company's big plays that we did. Joseph Walker's The River Niger, and Ray McIver's God Is a Guess What. But there's just three actually, of the NEC posters.
Now, the Blacks. Now, why is the Blacks an iconic play?
I've been around the world with doing theater in Germany and places like that. But the Blacks happens to be one of the great theater pieces of all time that was brought to this country and done originally by at the St. Mark's Playhouse, where the NEC ended up being the NEC's home. But the Blacks was done and created such incredible fervor in New York that every black actor that was really working and doing their thing at the time came through the Blacks, and the names are just amazing. I mean, Roscoe Lee Brown, Cicely Tyson, Maya Angelou, just great actors, all came through this play. That's why this play is important.
And what's the gist of that play again?
It's about colonialism. It's about colonialism in Europe. And Jean Genet, who was a rebel, a true rebel, wrote this play and was stoned at one point in a theater in, I think, England or someplace, doing this play because he spoke out against colonialism, and which of course we all detest.
Sure.
But that's what this play is about. Now it's complicated, you know, but that's what it's about.
Fantastic. The Blacks. And we will continue with the iconic Mr. Robert Hooks in just a minute.